A lot has broken out into the game industry as to what has happened in recent months with the PlayStation news and the GTA 6 news, but I think that one of the most important things that happened recently regards to the Nintendo Switch 2's 1 year anniversary and the June Nintendo Direct that made me truly believe that the Nintendo Switch 2 is the future of the Japanese gaming industry. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that and how the Nintendo Switch 2 will be vital as the target platform for future Japanese games. So the Switch 2 has been out for a year and it has a lot of games for it, mainly Nintendo games as usual, but the third party has been better than ever compared to the Switch 1, with day-and-date ports, multiplats, and even exclusives, especially from Japanese companies such as Capcom, Konami, Bandai Namco, Sega, and Koei Tecmo. And I think this is pretty vital for a Japanese game market as a lot has changed in the last decade or so for Japan as the 3DS and PlayStation Vita are no longer around. The gacha games have taken off, especially in the Chinese and Korean countries where the Genshin style 3D action RPG is what is very popular to where Japan doesn't feel like they make those kind of like otaku games and such where the Japanese market has a lot of franchises that are slowly dying or not as relevant in Japan as they are in the West, such as Ninja Gaiden, Mega Man, Dead or Alive, and much more. So with the Nintendo Switch 2, it will become the target platform for Japanese game development, as back then it originally was the PlayStation 4 after succeeding the 3DS and the PlayStation Vita. So with the PS4 power, you're able to get like souped up PS Vita games and like 3DS games on an HD console. And once that stuck around, the Nintendo Switch 1 came, and while the Switch 1 wasn't that powerful, it still provided a good target platform for Japanese games. But then the PS5 came, and when the PS5 dropped in Japan, it was not very good. And a lot of Japanese games would be AAA and take forever, while the AA side mostly stick to PS4 still as their target platform. And they didn't do all too well. And I think that for games such as Final Fantasy 16, that the PS5 was a detriment as an exclusive, and having that be a Japanese AAA game that costs a lot, and that they need to scale back in order for Japan to survive in this market of the game industry, especially now that China and South Korea are now able to make their own AAA games with the Wukong and the Stellar Blade, so Japan would need to fight back, and Nintendo Switch 2 would be the perfect platform for the target platform in Japanese games. And we especially saw this in the Nintendo Direct with Kingdom Hearts 4 being day and date with the other versions and actually premiered at the Nintendo show itself. That Japanese games are a central part of Nintendo as they collab on many stuff and do exclusives, to where the biggest thing they got was the Dust Buds and Elden Ring from Software, which was the last missing piece to Japanese game development for Nintendo. And I do think that this pattern will be noticed in future Nintendo Directs, where there will be a big third-party Japanese reveal that will come day and date to Switch 2. You know, we've seen with Resident Evil 9 and Kingdom Hearts 4 that this is huge, but I think the biggest deal of all will be Final Fantasy 17, if that is the target platform, is Nintendo Switch 2. And of course, these games will come to PC, PlayStation 5, maybe Xbox, but having the Switch 2 as the target platform will mean that we'll possibly get more games, and they will sell to their audience, especially in Japan, as Switch 2 has overtaken the PS5 in over a year. And I really do look forward, and I always thought that Nintendo getting Japan back was the goal for Switch 1, and will definitely happen with Switch 2, where the mainline Pokemon, the mainline Mario, the mainline Zelda will be there with the other Japanese games. And it is vital for the Japanese market to have the Switch 2 as their target platform, and I definitely look forward to what is to come in the Japanese game industry. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.